It's the Fountain of Geneva. Look at that bad boy. Yeah, you can see all this stuff here, man. This is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, it's so different when you get up close to it. I was watching from over there on my live stream, and over here, wow. It's interesting because it looks like it's not even guarded. You just walk into it.
Hi! Have sounds, guys. Sound check. Karaoke time! Happy Father's Day! Sa inyong lahat. Take me now, take my love. Dance with my dance. $2 million in the house. Dedicated to all fathers out there. Okay. Hello. Let's sing, guys. Covers up today. Up. Hello. But when I was young, before arriving home at innocent, a part of me life. Hi, my love. My love in the house. Come on, my love, come on. Never for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with you, I'll play a song that will never end. I want love to dance with my father again. It's killing it. Come on, my love. Up. Just with my bottle again. No crying. Pray for her mother for me. I know you don't excuse me, but you're lost in style. To dance with my father again. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to all father. Happy Father's Day, my love. You're the best. That is in this world. Happy Father's Day. Ano yun? 1,000. Got 10,000 subscriber. Wow. 10,000 subscriber.
Okay.
Just with my Wow, congratulations to Betty, and Betty's 10,000 subscriber. Wow, you're killing it. You're killing it. You're killing it. 10K. Mm. Just with my father again. I got ano pala ko? Happy Father's Day to all our good fathers. Okay. If I sing you love song, I tried this one. Let's try this one.
ألوان مكثفة تدوم لوقت طويل وعناية بالشعر من باليت، الصبغة رقم 1 في أوروبا. باليت كريم، الألوان المكثفة لكل ألوان الحياة.
Try this song. If I sing you love song, always remember. If I sing you a song, will you always remember? Will you when I'm with you? If I sing you a love song, will you hear it forever? To remind you how much I care and needed you. So baby, let me sing love song for you. Love song for living, lost to. Parang tapos. If I sing you a love song, let it always be with you. When the others have a love, let us still be there. Hi, JHK! Make a love shout out. Love song, the lovers for two. So baby, let me sing love song for you. Love song for you. Like lovers songs. Yo guys. So yeah, thank you so much. Happy Father's Day to all daddies in this world. Oh, 5 million in the house. I try this one, love song. Hello, hello. To live my life with you, in love with you, I think about love with someone else. Promise you'll share my life forever, be nothing of its dream. Prince, with so many for it. The words contain what's forever's night, the police around you. love together. My love created summer's tomorrow comes. I know this love is for a I spend the night time, baby, in the there's nothing I want to. Forever's not enough for me to let you serve. I know my love. Wow, you have guitar.
And forever's not enough for me to love you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, huh?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? I just come here to tell you folks I'm ragging, but I'm right. I'm a tramp and a gambler, and I stay out late at night. I stay 3 times a day for my food, and it's more than any rambler in this town can afford. Big electric fan to keep me cool while I sleep. Baby boy to play around at dad's feet. I'm a rambler and a gambler, and I lead every line. Well, I tell you folks I'm bragging, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Big electric fan to keep me cool while I sleep. Little baby boy to play around at dad's feet. I'm a rambler and I'm a gambler, and I lead every line. I tell you folks I'm bragging, but I'm not. I know you like that old time country western.
I like it.
Oh my goulai. All right. What are we up to today? A little karaoke?
Yeah.
Porterhouse steak 3 times a day for my board. And that's more than any rambler in this old town can afford. Big electric fan to keep me cool when I sleep. Little baby boy to play around at daddy's feet. JHK Reborn is in the house. How are you, sir?
Come on, Jenny, let's sing. Oh, look, save your mic. Look,
A little bit different, Cole.
Yellow from I have a request. Can you sing Submarine, my love?
Oh my gosh, Yellow Submarine, Rich Wong song?
Yeah, I like the Submarine.
I'll look it up here. Hold on. We should take requests.
Yeah,
let me see if I actually have it here.
I don't have microphone, only empty beer in can. Jeez. Come on, JHK.
It's for Rich Buong.
Hmm.
In the time where I was born, there's a man who sailed to sea, and he told us of his life in the land of submarine. So we sailed unto the sun till we found the sea of green, and we lived beneath the waves in our yellow submarine. Do you know the rest of it? We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. And our friends are all aboard. Are you aboard, Honeycomb? Many more of them live next door, and the band begins to play. We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. All right.
That dedication to
That's dedicated to the invisible man of the whole. The man that has painted himself in invisible paint.
Love Shack.
And it's also, oh, the Love Shack. Yeah, I like that one too. You only have an empty beer can and a soft heart, right, JK? Come on now. We're not going for perfection. We're going for participation. If any of us were any good, we wouldn't be on at Sunday night on YouTube. That's for sure. Oh gosh.
Nico is live also.
Yeah, he came on right when you came on. So I have to pick between friendship and love interests. So I had to choose you. Sorry, Nico. You're my second choice always, but Nico is number one. He likes to have too much fun. Nico is number one. Can we do David Bowie's Ziggy? That's a tough one to do. Why don't you try one that's a little bit that's a little easier? Shout one out, you know, kind of like 70s, 80s ish, you know, not Ziggy Stardust. That's pretty tough.
Stardust.
I can do one David Bowie one. I'll try one David Bowie one though, JSK, and I'll see if I can do it justice. Let me try it here. It's going to be pretty much a butchered job, but David Bowie had sort of a low voice like me, so maybe I'll be able to make it work. Yeah, maybe. And I'm going to dedicate this to the one and only JHK. What's up, brother? Oh, 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 oh. Little China. That's Honeycomb, my little China girl. I could escape this feeling with my China girl. I feel a wreck without my little Filipina girl. I feel her heart beating loud as thunder. Saw the stars crashing down. I'm a mess without my little Ilocana girl. Wake up in the morning with my Ilocana girl. I hear her heart beating loud as thunder. Saw the stars crashing down. I feel tragic like a Marlon Brando when I look at my Ilocana girl. I could pretend nothing really meant too much to me when I look at my Ilocana girl. Oh yeah. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, 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 chicka, boom, boom. I stumble into town just like a sacred cow. Visions of swastikas in my head, plans for everyone. It's in the whites of my eyes. Oh, oh. My little Ilocana girl, you shouldn't mess with me. I'll ruin everything you are. I'll give you television. I'll give you baby eyes of blue. I'll give you the man who wants to rule the world. And when I get excited, my little Ilocana girl, she says, oh baby, just you shut your mouth. She says, shh. She says, shh. That's right, that's what she says, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. Gotta believe it. You like that JHK? It's about as good as I can do when it comes to David Bowie, brother. I can sing Let's Dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Oh, oh, my little Ilocana girl. Name Honeycomb, my Ilocana girl. Do I get an applause for that one? Huh? Big round of applause. Oh my gosh, I need a haircut. I look like a hippie now. Look at that. I'm getting so hairy. And speaking of hairy, no, never mind. No.
I sing another song for you. Wait.
Honeycoast. It's Honeycoast time, ladies and gentlemen. My little Ilocana girl. You're an Ilocana, right?
JSK.
Are you an Ilocana?
Yep. Hi, JSK.
Hey, what's up?
JHK's in the house.
How you doing, Biggie?
I'm doing fabulous.
Pretty good here too.
I'm glad you don't think I'm Mike Chef anymore.
Hey, but like Honey Coast night stream, like I'm a mess at that time, like I'm too drunk to realize what's going on.
Yep. It's okay though. We like you, man. You should come on Honey Coast stream more often. She misses you.
It's just past my bedtime,
Well, you need to change your bedtime.
Why
Honey
was
Coast
there?
needs you.
Where are you now? Are you in Philippines or America or where you at?
I just got back to the Philippines a couple days ago. I was in Europe. I was in France and Switzerland, Netherlands, and then went to Dubai and then back here.
That room of yours, is that a condo or a hotel? It looks pretty nice.
I have a house here in Lapu-Lapu,
Oh,
three-story
I,
house.
I checked out that place when I was looking at Philippines. It actually looks like you get a lot for your money, right?
You get a lot more here. So I used to live in the city right across the Mactan Channel, and I lived in a condo the whole time I've been here. I have a house on the other side of Cebu Island on the west coast, but to do anything like the airport or anything, you have to be in the East Coast in Cebu City or Mactan. So when you cross over, you probably drop your payment in half, or maybe 30-40% at least. But you can get like a real house, not just a condo. Yeah, because I have children, and condos are kind of there's limited.
But I remember, like, I was checking out that area, and I was like on a site to check like rentals and stuff online. Okay, it's not like fancy or brand new, but I saw like, like 2-story houses with a garden for like 20,000 pesos a month.
That's true. You can find that all over the place in Mactan.
What is you planning? You're planning to buy a house in Cebu?
No.
Where do you live again? You live in Finland, right?
Sweden.
Sweden. So
It's that a drunk guy who's from Finland.
Oh.
Go.
I go up there.
You come to my country. We will go in the sauna, and I will slap your buttock cheek very, very hard, and then I will fuck your girlfriend. Okay?
Yeah, they all talk that way. Which one was that said that?
Was it the Goggins, right?
Goggins, yeah. But I mean, you know how it is in Sweden. I mean, I was just in the Netherlands. It's in Switzerland, and the prices are, 10 times what you'd pay here. So if you paid $20,400 a month, I doubt you can rent even a closet in Stockholm for $400 a month.
No, fuck that shit. Like, I live in kind of a shithole 2-bedroom apartment, when I'm in Sweden, and it's like $1,000,
€1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's in a suburb, not in the city.
Yeah. Well, that's not too bad because
compared to America, yeah, right. Of course.
Oh gosh, I mean, LA, where I'm from, the average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is like $3,600 a month right now. It's just
that's very expensive.
Oh, it's crazy.
Like, my sister and her boyfriend, they went to New York for a holiday, and they rented like an Airbnb in Brooklyn, like a legit shithole with bed bugs, and it was like $3,500 for the month.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like 150,000 pesos. Yeah, it's scary.
I was in New York City in February, and I stayed in Manhattan. The main right in the main strip there. The room was like $350 a night, and
wow.
It was no bigger than my bathroom right here. I'm not joking. Actually, one of the YouTubers came up and used my bathroom. Gogo Bobo's sister came up, had to go to the bathroom really bad because I met her in the city, and first thing is like, oh my gosh, this is a closet. But that was, if I wanted to get a regular room that was actually normal size, it probably would have been $600 or $700 a night. So I remember when Europe was way more expensive than America, but now America is much more expensive than Europe.
It's just insane. Like, if you pay that every day for a month, like, what the fuck is that? That's like 20 grand for fucking staying in a hotel for a month.
It is. And fortunately, I'm not the one, it's not coming out of my pocket, but it's the fact that somebody's paying that much money for just a real shitty place. So yeah, I found that like if I compare Germany, like let's say Cologne or any of the German towns, to American town. I mean, it's literally half the price of any place in America right now. It's so cheap.
Did you ever spend time in Barcelona?
I did, but it was in the 1990s.
That's like I think it's one of the more dangerous city in Europe.
Why? Why is most dangerous?
That's what they say, but I mean, it wasn't like that in the 90s, though.
For me, it was. Like when I go in Asia, in 4 years in Asia, I never have a problem, like a big problem on the street like that. But when I go to Barcelona, they fucking robbed me like 3 hours after I left the airport.
Whoa.
Like
I saw that. I walked the streets everywhere. Like when I was in Frankfurt, when I was not in Barcelona, but I was amazed how many gangs there are, how much graffiti is everywhere. It really reminds me of like the way New York City looked in the 1970s and 80s. It's so shitty now. Not every place in Europe's like that, of course, but I mean, the German cities are, and I know Spain has their issues and some of the other ones, but if you go up into the Scandinavian countries, like where you're at, it's everywhere I've ever been to is nice. You know, there's some edgy places in Amsterdam, but a place like that, but I've never felt threatened for a second, ever, in Scandinavian countries.
I never really see it in Stockholm. It's like it's concentrated, you know, like either to Malmo in the south or to like a smaller area of the city, you know. But it does happen a lot. We got a big problem with violence and shootings and stuff like that too, same as America.
Well, like some places like Switzerland seems very, very safe. It just depends on where you go. I was just in France. France was, France is my favorite place to go, but half of Paris is just
Don't make in the house. Come on, don't make.
The other half is super nice. It's amazing how shitty it is on the bad parts of town.
Yeah. Do you speak any French language?
Oui. No, I don't. I travel all over, and I can't. You know, fortunately, everybody speaks English. Especially, like my home base there in Europe is in the Netherlands, and everybody in the Netherlands speaks better English than they do in America. Believe it or not, everyone I deal with speaks flawless English. It's unbelievable. Every meeting I attend, it's like if you were to compare the southern U.S. states, like let's say Arkansas and Tennessee, and compare that to the Netherlands, I guarantee you the Netherlands has higher English capacity. Hey, Mick Fisher, how are you? Why don't you come up and sing a song, Mick Fisher? I played the guitar earlier and sang a few songs for Honeyco. I serenaded her.
But bro, I think that's a generation things when it comes to France, right? Like the people who are 60 or 70, they are the ones who are like, fuck you, how dare you come speak English in my country, motherfucker, learn French. And the younger ones, they learn English.
You know what? Honestly, every place that they tell you everyone's rude, I've never experienced it. So I've never experienced rude people in New York City. I've never experienced it in Paris, the two most notorious places for rude people. Everyone's always been friendly there to me, in my experience. Of course, maybe it's because I'm so big that they're afraid I'm going to, lurch out at them and knock them out. I don't know. Where'd you get all that hair? Yeah. No, I would love to be taking collagen, Mick Fisher, but I throw up. I have this little vomit thing. Not worth it. But yeah, I'm getting hairy as hell, dude. I'm going to have April shave it for me today or tomorrow. Honeyco gave me a haircut once, right? Was it once or twice?
I did.
You did that twice, right? I think you did it 2 different times.
The first time I did.
You did it once, and then I think you did it in Jeddah, right? I don't remember.
No, only in Abha I did.
The crowd is too small. Oh, it's never too. There's 3 million in the house. That's a big crowd, Mick Fisher. Honeyco will be home back where she belongs in, is it 11 days or 12 days, Honeyco?
12 days.
12 days back in the Philippines where she belongs.
Is that
Yeah.
permanent or just a holiday?
Permanent.
Very
Nice.
good.
How many years did you stay abroad now?
I'm not letting her go back, dude. After I went, I'm not letting her go. After I went there and saw where she lives in Abha, I was
Yeah.
affected by it, badly affected by it.
So Biggie,
Experience.
can I ask you a question, bro?
Go ahead.
Are you the owner of where she lives and you're the guy who's keeping her locked in the basement?
I will be.
Sorry, I'm just fucking around.
What
No,
about
no, but
talking about?
we've had a long-term, long relationship. So,
Yeah, good on you.
and I've known her for so many years. Actually, I'm the one that gave her name, her name on her stage name. But I had never been to where she lives. I'd been to Riyadh and all the other cities, but I'd never been where she's at until just recently. When I went there, I told her, I mean, not to be controlling, but I said, you got to make a choice now. You either, I don't want to think about you in this place, man. This is like hell. And if I had to choose between hell and Abha, I would pick hell, honestly. Hell sounds more appetizing than Abha. So I was like, ugh.
I don't know her situation, but like I heard many stories about the Arab countries, like they steal the fucking passport and like lock people up and do some really fucking nasty shit.
They do with a lot of people. Now she's never lived in where she's controlled. She lives out, she lives in her own place and everything like that. But the level of controlling, like we were in Riyadh and Jeddah, and you can walk around just normal, no abaya, no ninja or anything like that. But when we were there in Abha, that's so old school that literally every woman I saw for more than a week had a ninja, and everyone's looking at you, and I mean, it's so backwards. It's hard to believe. If you go to Riyadh is more, it's opened up a lot. It's more like, I don't want to say it's like Dubai, but it's moving in that direction. Let's put it that way. But where she lives, it's the most oppressive, backwards, shittiest place I've ever been to in this world.
Wow.
And that's saying a lot. I've been to a lot of shitty places.
Yeah, I know you travel a lot, right?
Yeah. Been to 100 countries, and this is the worst place I've ever seen. Where she lives. So I love her too much to let her go back there.
I wouldn't wish that. Like, I know maybe the salary is a little bit better, but like the circumstances, it's not something you wish on someone, right? In some
No.
scenario.
Look, if you go to Doha or you go to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, those three, they're nicer. They're just like Europe, dude. They're just like, going to Zurich or something. They're that nice. And then they're open. You can drink, there's bars, there's everything you could even want, even eating pork and other things. But you go into Saudi, you're going into the belly of the beast.
I never been to an Arab country, so like the most Muslim part of the world I've been is Malaysia, and that's like a visa run, from Thailand.
Well,
So like
Malaysia's heaven.
I can't even imagine the control of the Arab countries, because I've never been.
It's hard to imagine, but they're trying to open it up. So I was in Riyadh for months, many trips this year even, and I go out and do walking every day. No one's ever bothered me. Everyone's friendly. It's pretty open. We went and did all these tourist things together. Honeyco and I did, and no problem at all. Jeddah, same thing. A little bit more backwards than Riyadh, I would say. Abha, where she lives for the past 3 years, it's off the charts. Off the charts. So I don't want to be like controlling, but at the same time, if you care about somebody, you're not going to let them go back. She hides this. She hides the horror from everybody on her show.
But you don't have to, like if it's her personal stuff, you don't have to share it. It's all right,
Look, ultimately, she has to be the one to decide. But I strongly urged her. And it didn't take much of urging, because she finally had somebody that went there for the first time. And once they saw what it really was, it kind of opened her eyes too.
But that's like for everything in life, like making an effort is way better than talking,
Yes.
Like you actually went there and you saw her. You didn't just like type something on the internet. Oh, you're so sexy or this,
Oh yeah. Well, but the thing is, we have a very deep relationship, and I had to do that. So we haven't always been in one. I want to make sure that's clear, because when you knew her, when you were coming on her panels, we weren't. It was on and off. I'm not into this LDR business. Kind of tough.
It is.
Yeah.
About
that's like.
How about you?
Sorry.
Like 6K?
No, I'm like a reborn virgin. I've been here like almost 2 years now.
Wow, congratulations.
That's right,
No.
Mick Fisher. I think you should go to ABHA, because I think one thing, I know you're joking, but the one thing I can say is, when you're in your 50s, as you know, and you've traveled all over, there's not much things you learn, because you've seen everything doing this type of lifestyle. But I learned a lot going to ABHA. A lot.
Yeah.
Honeyco is an amazing person in real life. Whatever you think of her on her show, it's nothing like the real person. She's solid as gold, dude. Solid gold. So if you saw it, any one of you, you'd probably say the same thing. Urge her not to renew her contract. The good thing about Honeyco is she saved all her money for the past 10 years. She has a ton of money. So she hasn't, she's not like those people that blew through everything. She saved everything and invested. So she's been very wise with her money.
Yes, I am.
You are. I mean, honestly, it's okay. I mean, I talk to OFWs every day when I'm in the Middle East, and they're all out of money within a few months. The family sucks it out of them, every penny. And when you see it for real, not just see it on YouTube, it's kind of a sad situation.
Always send every month.
They become an ATM machine for their family. The family sacrifices their happiness to keep everybody going, and it's not fair to the person. So I told Honeyco, if you really need to go back out, you can go to one of the good countries, and now you have enough money for a placement fee. You don't have to go to Saudi.
Mhm.
You don't have to go to Iran. You don't have to go and say up your hola Ayatollah or anything like that. So
sorry, I just went to the bathroom. What's your favorite country or area in the world that you ever go?
my favorite, well, I really do. I love Switzerland and the Netherlands. That's a hard question. If I was going to go with what is the most amazing, like, wow factor, I mean, France is up there. If I go with the country that has the most to offer, it's the US by far. Nothing's close to it. No individual country in Europe can match the US by a long shot. Europe as a whole is phenomenal. Singapore, Australia, Japan. There's a lot of them that are quite good. South Korea is very impressive.
Okay,
What's your
let me say like this. If you compare like cost of living to cost of enjoying your life and what you can do and the people and the culture, like in Asia, it's way cheaper, right? And you can do all you want every day.
Well, it is and it isn't. Okay. I used to live in Makati before I lived here. My rent was, I think it was at that time 80 or 90,000 a month. So
Wow.
if you want to live a Western lifestyle in the place that is the most Western in the Philippines, it's probably just as expensive as living in the Western country. But if you want to live basic life, then it's way cheaper here, of course. But
What kind of condo did you get for that price? It's very expensive.
it was an amazing condo right there in by Greenbelt 3. If I was going to go with bang for your buck, I'd say Vietnam is the best bang for your buck. Then Thailand. Philippines is not as good dollar for dollar. It also depends on if you're there to have sex with girls. If you're there to find girls, then probably the Philippines is the best. If you're not there looking for a girl, then I'd say Vietnam's the best for dollar.
I'm just like amazed with that price because when I rent my Thai condo, it's 30,000 baht, so it's like 45,000 pesos.
Yeah.
And it's still like super brand new and nice. They have fucking gyms and like free pools and sauna and mini golf and shit and like free cleaning, all that shit.
That's cheap, yeah,
But
Jeff.
yours is like double price.
But this is a 3-bedroom place, and
Yeah, all right. I just have a studio, you know, but it's brand new and super fancy.
So was this, and right in the most expensive part of town. So it was that probably accounts for the difference, having the extra rooms.
Yeah, I understand. This was in Pattaya too, so like Pattaya is not same as Bangkok. Like if you want to live on Sukhumvit Central, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why too many Western are going to Thailand, right? Because cheap. Not too
It's not so cheap. Like if you want cheap, you go to Cambodia or Vietnam, right?
Yeah. But
The one thing
cheaper than
about
Philippines.
Thailand, like if you're 50 years old, you can retire, you know, you can have a good visa. But if you're young, you cannot stay forever, you know. You have to fly out, you have to pay visa, you have to fly this or here, make hotel, go to embassies, all that shit. That's like the thing I don't like about Thailand because every 3 months, again.
Why you don't like Thailand?
No, that's the downside, you know, because you have to leave the country, you have to go to embassies, you have to pay hotels, you have to fly back and deal with all the immigration stuff. If you stay in Cambodia, you just pay like a few $100 and they stamp your passport. Okay, stay 1 more year, no problem, bro.
Would you say though that your standard of living in Thailand is better than your standard of living in Sweden? For you?
Kind of similar, you know. Like I think I do the same things, but I go out more in Thailand, you know, because like in Sweden, if you buy a beer for like $1 in the shop, it's $7 in the bar. In Thailand, like the markup is very small.
Mm-hmm.
Like the price of drinking in a bar and just buying in the shop, it's not so much more, you know. So if you want to drink every day, if you do that in Sweden, you spend a lot of money, you know.
That you do, right?
No,
I
I'm a
don't
good boy.
drink. I don't drink, so I don't have that issue. But I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Mick Fisher, Vietnam, paging Philip Janik. You're right. Janik did a big public service, in my opinion. He was pumping the Philippines for 4 or 5 years on YouTube before he came. Then he compared Makati to Dalat, Vietnam, literally double the cost. So I think a lot of it depends on your budget. I think if you've got a lot of money to spend, Philippines is a great place. But if you don't, probably Vietnam's a better place, unless you're going there for the girls. I mean, he's not going there for females. I know Rike went over there and he couldn't get laid with a fistful of $100 bills in a Tijuana whorehouse.
So that was funny as fuck.
Then he came back to the Philippines after trashing it for 13 months because he couldn't get laid. So, if I'm living with a woman that I'm with full time, my woman, and I'm not looking for any additional, then Vietnam might be the best place to go. Bang for your buck. They certainly have better food, and they have better. I don't know though. Like Cebu, the weather's better than Vietnam. I don't know. They've all got their things, something going on.
I actually, like in Cambodia, they have like a big French influence, because they're colonized before.
Yes.
So like, I would never fucking eat the street food in Cambodia because it looks disgusting and rough and gnarly. Ugh. But the Western food in Cambodia, it's affordable and very good. And in Thailand, many times you pay a lot and then you get terrible food. Like if you want a pizza or something like Western, it's like
that's one of the things I like about Germany. The food and the food costs are so cheap. It's unbelievable. I mean, I compared item by item, even in the Philippines. Like, let's say a Red Bull in the Philippines versus a Red Bull in Frankfurt. McDonald's. I mean, I went through like 10 or 12 different things. Everything was about half the price in Frankfurt as it is here in the Philippines.
Really?
But dollar for dollar, bang for your buck. I mean,
also here, right? Very expensive, right?
Oh, Saudi's the worst bang for your buck. Saudi's such a ripoff. It's unbelievable. Where was that place in Jeddah? I mean, that was 200 something a night for that piece of. I mean, it's an okay place. 225 a night for that shithole. I mean, it's okay. It would be okay if it was 100 a night, but at 200, 225, normally you get a much, much nicer place than that. And I found that everywhere in Saudi. It's way, way, way expensive. It's more expensive than France. It's more expensive than Switzerland, for goodness sakes.
In Cambodia, they have a casino called Naga World. And the first time I arrived in Cambodia, I don't know anything, so I just booked like 2 nights in the casino to check around the city, And this hotel is like the worst garbage ever. It's like $120 a night just because it's in a casino. But it's like dirty, old, like, like the carpet on the floor that hasn't been washed in like 50 years. And it's like literally smoke everywhere and like smells disgusting and rotten. And then like if you just like walk 2 minutes, you have like a great room for like $20.
That's another vice I don't have, gambling and staying in places like that. Well, I got a question for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You've been on the Honeyco show off and on for years. All these people that were in love with Honeyco, how come they didn't come for her? Why didn't they get on an airplane and go meet her? Because they're not going to find a better one on YouTube, that's for sure.
Okay. My answer will be this. I think like you have a good life, like you travel a lot and you have money and you can do what you want. But I think the older and the less money you have, the more angry you are, right?
Could be.
I think.
Why are they falling in love with someone they're not going to meet? That's the. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think like. I also think maybe not most, but I think a lot of the people who come here, they are not in love with Honeycode. They come because the chat is very funny, you know, like a lot of joking and fun.
Yeah, I'm not saying everyone is in love with her, but there have been a number of them that expressed this to her, you know, privately, and yet no one got on that airplane.
Yeah.
Because they cannot afford to come to Saudi.
I don't know though. I mean, a lot of these guys were European, and it's not that far. It's not like coming from America, which is like 14-hour flight. It's depending on where you are, it might only be a 2 or 3 hour flight. It's only
But, you
2
know,
hours to Turkey.
you got guys like Ernest Connell, you know, like he's just a nice guy to everybody, you know.
Who?
Ernest Connell.
Oh yeah, he's a very nice person. Yeah, I'm not talking about him though. I'm talking about some of these other fall in love with somebody on YouTube type guys.
And they are things for 10 years.
Hey, Arcelius Corner, how are you? Thank you.
Okay, one time I sing a song, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna do Bowie too because you did.
Awesome.
I don't know if I know these lyrics, but fuck it. La, la, la. Da, da, da. Didn't know what time it was, the light was slow. I leaned back on my radio. Some cat was laying down to some rock and roll. So we say, didn't know what time didn't seem to fade. Hey, came back like slow voice on the way up. They say, and when no teachers I see, cast me child. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He like to come and meet him, but it thinks he blow our mind. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He tells us not to blow it, cause he knows it's all wild to me. Don't let the children lose it. Don't let the children use it. Let children boogie. I had to phone for once I picked on you. Had to call so you him too. Switch on the TV, we may pick them up on channel 2. Look out your window, I can see it fly. If we can spot her like me. Hey, I'll tell you, Papa, we're gonna fly and fly. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He likes to come and meet us, but he thinks we blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He likes to blow it, cause he knows it's worldwide. He told me, let the children use it. Let the children use it. Let the children boogie. Oh man, waiting in the sky. He like to come and meet us, but he thinks we blow our mind. There's a star man waiting in the sky. He told us not to blow it, cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it. I let the children use it. I let the children boogie. All right, that's all I got.
You're killing it, JHK. Excellent. Excellent, buddy. I'm gonna jump one in here if I can, dedicated to Honeyco, one of her favorite songs. Together again, my tears have stopped falling. The lonely nights are now at an end. The key to my heart you hold in your hand, and nothing else matters. You're together. Do it, Hanika. You sing it now. Together again. The gray skies are gone. You're back in my arms. Now where you belong. The love that I knew is living again. And nothing else matters. We're together again.
You're really good on the guitar, man.
Well, if I played my electric guitars, I could show you how to do some lead lines, but I'm not. My electric guitars are over there, and my amp is nowhere to be found.
I want to ask you, at what age did you learn to play the guitar?
Well, I learned the guitar. I started playing at 10. I played the piano from 5 years old on, and I play a lot of other instruments too, like the trumpet, trombone.
That's like the thing, right? You need to learn it at a young age because your mind is like, your memory is different. Like you can learn at a young age. I tried to learn guitar when I'm 20. Well, it's like my mind don't work that way, you know. I learned some accords, I try to play, but when I open my voice and try to sing at the same time, it's like I lose track of everything, you know.
Because, well, that's the thing. Check it out. If you were to play, lead, you're not going to sing while you're playing lead, right? You're not going to sit there and pick stuff out and sing. It's kind of hard. But if you you play it with the same beat, the same melody that of the song. If you're playing rhythm guitar, so if you're playing the lead, it's a little bit harder to pick it out.
Like I learned to play Wonderwall, you know, with Oasis, but when I try to sing it at the same time, just everything disappears.
You can do it. Stop drinking, dude. Stop drinking and pick up the guitar again, and you'll be amazed.
Maybe tomorrow, okay?
You'd be amazed at what you can do if you give it a chance.
Bro, can you do Redemption Song with Bob Marley?
Oh, I probably could, but I don't know it. I'd have to. Next time, I'll have that one queued up. Okay.
I think.
So I pick up my nose when singing. Now it is impossible to keep your eyes open when you're sneezing. It is impossible. Oh, somebody has their.
I think my notes.
Someone has their microphone on. What is that? Just come here to tell you folks I'm ragged, but I'm right. I'm a tramp and a gambler, and I stay out late at night. A porterhouse steak 8 times a day for my board. That's more than any rambler in this rich camp can afford. Big electric fan to keep me cool while I sleep. Baby boy to play around at daddy's feet. Well, I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, and I lead a dirty life. And I tell you folks, I'm ragged, but I'm right. That's Honeyco's favorite Western song. I got a big electric fan to keep me cool while I sleep. Little baby boy to play around at dad's feet. Well, I'm a rambler and I'm a gambler, and I lead every night. And I tell you folks, I'm bragging, but I'm right. Anyway, if I practice once in a while, I'd be better.
Hey, Big. Sorry if I have sound. I forgot to mute the sound on the laptop. I'm calling from the phone.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I just mean I think it's annoying if you hear the sound doubled.
Well, we're very forgiving here on the Honeyco Show.
I'm not. I hate all of you.
Why?
No, I'm joking.
Just love, no hate. Yeah, it's gay.
What?
No hate.
No, I'm joking. I'm always joking. Like even like the least favorite person I have on YouTube is Barry the Boss, but like I will joke about him, but I will never spend my time to try to do something bad to him. I just think he's a fat dickhead who doesn't not know fuck all about anything. But that's not my problem. I just go to bed at night.
Honeyco used to be deeply involved with Barry the Boss, right?
I don't know about that. But like
I have just been from
Biggie, you're pretty successful, right? Like you have a good job, you're traveling, you do good in life. Would you ever take advice from Barry the Boss about anything at all?
There's nobody in YouTube I would take it. I mean, there's very few because I live a different life. I mean, like for instance, I don't drink, I don't gamble, I'm pretty boring. So I don't have, I'm busy raising my kids. I mean, I have a different lifestyle. I used to do a lot of partying, a lot of bars, a lot of everything, but I've just gone in a different direction. So most of the people that you think of on YouTube, they're going in a different direction. So
yeah, I'm just meaning like in his mind, he thinks he can, like make a fake copyright. If he just says ink, it means it's like a legit business that he registered when he never did at all for anything. So it's like he's like
doing on YouTube live stream and then begging.
But you know what I mean, right? Like if you say the word ink, it doesn't mean you have a copyright or a company or something registered in your name.
Yeah. Well, my opinion on the whole YouTube genre is that too many people who take themselves too serious. I mean, in the real world, like as an example, in the real world, Honeyco knows this. She's met people that I'm colleagues with that work with me or work for me. I'm with different groups of men every single day in the work life that I do. How much time have we sat around talking about other men? Zero. We never gossip about other men. We don't talk about their sex life. We don't talk about their drinking life. These topics never come up in real life. But on YouTube, it's where men are more meritous and more gossipy than the women. It's just something that I'm not the slightest bit interested in that. So there's so few people on YouTube that I would even waste my time with. But with that said, I like certain people, like Gogus earlier that was mentioned. When he's sober, just like when you're sober, you're a good guy. You're a nice guy to talk to. When you're completely blitzed and drunk, then you become out of your mind. But when you guys are sober, Gogus, you, Kinjaman Gunner, there's so many of them I can think of. They're very nice people when they're sober. Be more Ron. There's a whole bunch of them. I can tell you right now, not to sound like a mother to you, but if you really want to help yourself, just stop drinking. That'll help you more than anything.
I'm drunk right now too, right? I'm drunk right now too, right?
I know you probably are, but not as bad as I've seen it before. You have a mild amount.
Jessica, did you try drunk too much?
Darren Dobson's another one. I'm ragged, but I'm right. Go figure. You know that song, right? Mick Fisher, the George Jones. I'm out of practice with all of them. I'm going to practice before I do this again. Be all fancy.
Can I ask you a question while you practice?
Yep.
If you should say a top 3, who's the 3 biggest assholes on YouTube that you ever met?
Well, that's tough, dude. Certainly Frank, Frank, the invisible man of Behol's another one. I've met, if you're talking about how people I've met in person, I've gotten along with everybody that I've met pretty much. I've met maybe 45 YouTubers or so, and got along with all of them. Face to face, got along with all of them. Like I've met Ricky Drama 3 or 4 times. You know Ricky Drama, right? And
yeah, I know.
We got along great. Now, then he'll turn around and talk shit about you all the time because it's just about views, about entertainment. So it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it's just my Ricky Drama. He's my first trolling on YouTube.
But I think, like, when it comes down to the core, I think most people are like that. Like, it's easy to talk shit or do something bad on the internet when you don't know someone or like you're hating for whatever fucking reason. But like most people that you meet in real life, they are decent,
Yeah. That's what my experience has been. Even the ones that are, big time drunks, if you get them sober, they're always very nice. There's a lot of lonely guys out there. Let's be honest. There's a lot of lonely people, and if they get started on a self-destruction, where every day they're drunk and they're down, or if they're on medication, there's no way out of that. It's only downhill. And if they're set on self-destruction, there's really nothing you can do about it if they're not willing to change that. But you take that same person and you stop that behavior, and they're usually very decent guys. I don't try to reform anybody, though, to be honest. I let them do whatever, but if they ask my opinion, I'll tell them. But yeah, I've been living abroad for 10 years, dude. I've seen it all. You don't even want to know half the shit I've seen with expats in this country and everywhere else.
Yeah. Like, I don't have the same experience as you. I know that. I just stay like 4 years in Asia, But the one thing I noticed, even like older people, like you can meet someone and you can hang out with them for like 4, 5, 6 months, and you think it's your friend, and you trust them. And then like for a small amount of money, like maybe 5,000-10,000 pesos, like that, he want to ask you a loan or something, and then he just fucked up and disappear, you know.
Oh yeah, I've gone through that too. You haven't experienced as much as I have because you're a lot younger than me. You're 20 years younger than me. So when you get another 20 years of this, you really might want to start drinking big time.
But you know what I mean, right? Like that's not cool. Like for 10,000 pesos, like would you disown and someone and fucking disappear and like fuck you, man? I'm out.
I'm a
Yeah.
master. When you start drinking GHK?
Oh, Mama H is here, huh?
Mama
You missed
H.
my guitar solos earlier.
GHK will start drunk. Go, go, go,
No,
master.
I'm all right. I'm just having some red wine.
What's up, Buddy Kip? Yeah, we've been singing some songs. Do you have any recommendations, or would you like to come up and sing a song, Miss Sapster? Or how about you, Go? You want to come up?
Can you invite Gogo Boba sister? Come on, Gogo Boba sister.
Yeah, again. I did that for Honeyco because that's her favorite oldies. My tears have stopped falling. Those lonely nights are now at an end. What other song? You're a very good singer, Mrs. Sapster. You should come on up and sing us for me. Happy Father's Day to your husband too, Mrs. Sapster. What other songs do we like, Honeyco? Let me see if any songs. Yeah.
Just woke up.
What? Like what? Do you have a song request?
Can you sing Forever's Not Enough?
Probably not.
I just look. Wait.
That might be asking a little too much there, HK. You look it up and I'll play a few lines. I could live my life again and stay with you for the way I have been. Your love is something no one ever can replace. I can't imagine life with someone else. I promise I will share my life with you. Forever may not be enough, it's true. My heart is filled with so much love I feel for you. No words can tell you how much I love you so. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
And if forever's not enough for me to love you. Go ahead, you sing it. It's kind of hard for me. It's kind of a high female voice. You do it, Honeyco. It's a Honeyco show. It's not the Big E show.
I let you.
Oh, I know what I can sing. Let me see. What was that song? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and look that up. I'm gonna look up one for Hapster here.
Okay, I will sing one song. From road is to work. Wait.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device.
Don't smoke marijuana in Muskogee. We don't take our trips on LSD. We don't burn our draft cards down at Main Street. We love living right and being free. Do you know that one, Mrs. Hapster? We don't make a party out of loving. We don't hold in hands and pitch and woo. We don't let our hair grow long and shaggy like the hippies out in San Francisco do. I'm proud to be an Okie from Muskogee.
But by the hands of Almighty, we covered in this generation. Triumphantly, the Almighty of the sun.
Come on, Jetski. Go, go, go.
Oh, sorry. I thought I muted my mic. I just tried the song because I wanted Big E to do it because he can actually play the guitar. But I think this without the guitar. Oh, pirates, just a rabbi, so live from the merchant ship. And it's happy day to buy from the bottomless pit. But my hand makes it by the hands of the Almighty. We forward in this generation. Triumphantly, won't you help us sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I've ever had, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Remember ourselves to free our mind. And now pray for atomic energy. 'Cause nothing can stop the time. How long shall we kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? And that is just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? Is all I ever had. Redemption song, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. And no fear for atomic energy. 'Cause nothing can stop the time. How long shall we kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? It's sunset is just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help us sing These songs of freedom is all I ever had. Redemption song, all I ever had. Redemption song, these songs of freedom. These songs of freedom.
Good
Can you
job.
do that on Can you do that on guitar?
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
know every song by heart. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, I can. I'll do it next time.
That's a nice song. Like very, very nice.
Abster loves that song. See her comments there? Yeah, good job, dude. Good job. So, Honeyco, go ahead and do your song now since you had it queued up.
It's my turn.
احنا متى نشتري؟ لما نبي نضبط اللوك امازون من الآخر.
Here we go.
Hello.
Someone in the background.
Good morning, Mama H.
Good morning.
Mama H is here.
Yahoo!
Thank you.
Honey, go.
Well
Baby
done.
is killing it.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna show my face, guys, because I look like a darn big
Oh,
old
Morning,
cat.
Mama H.
you're so cute in real
Just look
life.
up.
Come on, let's see your face.
You don't want to see my face right now.
I love
Anyway,
your face.
good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Father's Day,
Thank
Biggie.
you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Wonderful, wonderful chitlings you got out there. They are adorable.
They are. They're
And
so
of course,
wonderful.
Arcelia did a good job. So yeah, well
Yeah.
done.
She's coming up on the panel here in just a second
That's
to
cool.
say hi to you.
Yeah, this is a rare moment, huh?
It is very rare. We used to
Especially
do stuff like
in this
this all the
early.
time. We just remember that we used to do stuff like this a lot.
I know. What happened to that?
I don't know what happened. We lost it. We got to get it. Go back to those.
Let's go back to that. And let's
Yeah.
have fun.
I think so.
Fun. And don't worry about the others out there. But anyway, good to see you guys. I'm always like a day late and $1 short.
Good to
Better
see you
late
too,
than
my
never.
dear. I'm not
Right,
sure
right.
I've seen you before.
Hi, JHK. Hello. Where are you coming from?
From Sweden. But did I see you before?
I don't know.
Oh, you
I
see her.
didn't know. Too.
She's famous. She's an institution in YouTube. You might know her as
I
Mrs.
have.
Napster. You might know her as Mama H.
I castrate people.
She suffers no fools, my friend.
Oh my goodness. Ah, there she is. Hello,
There
beautiful.
she is, RC.
Hi, Mrs. House.
Hi,
Hi,
Be.
Aniko. Hi, Biggie. Hi, JHK.
And speaking
Hello.
of chitlins, there's my little chitlin.
Hi.
She's like, I see you.
I see you.
Oh man. So any plans for Father's Day, or you guys done your celebration?
Today was Father's Day. It's already
Cool.
nighttime. So yeah, we went out today, and we the oldest daughter did the ice skating for the third straight day. She did really well, and then the other two kids did a play, one of these indoor play places. So we did that. We went out to eat. We did our 10,000 steps inside the mall.
Nice.
Everything. Yeah, it's
Happy
great.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all fathers in this chat.
Yes. I actually watched that video, guys. That you guys were at the skating rink. Yeah, that's fun.
That's what they want to learn, and so like
That's cool.
It is. It's amazing. So we're probably going to go there tomorrow again, and then every day they improve by about 30 or 40%. So I want to keep rolling it until we saturate.
Right.
I mean, you were growing up. I was talking to somebody about this. Who was this? Our oldest daughter. If you remember when we were growing up, you and me, because we're both the same age, around the same age. I used to do stuff like we went roller skating, we went ice skating, we learned how to go fishing, learned how to do surfing. It just seems like the skills that people that are on Xboxes and on chatting, that they don't have the same skills. I bet you by the time you were 18 years old, you knew how to do dozens of things that the average kid doesn't know how to do.
You betcha, yeah, I did.
And you grew up in a family with all brothers, so you probably knew how to do even hunting, I imagine, if you lived in Oklahoma.
Yes. I like skateboarding when I was young.
Yeah.
Bike, the BMX bike. Yeah, I love those.
But you remember You remember roller rinks, right? Like the
Yes, yes, yes.
70s, and so, I mean, it was amazing. You'd go up there and dun dun
The
dun.
music,
Dun, dun, dun. It was like a disco thing
running
on
into people.
wheels.
Yeah, that's right. They don't do that anymore.
No, and the other memory you and I might share together is the drive-in movie theater.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are nice.
That was good stuff.
That's like a family thing, eh?
It was a family thing until you turned 16, got your driver's license, and
Yeah.
lost your virginity.
And you get to do your own thing, sneaking out.
I remember one time I brought my entire basketball team. We put about 6 of them in the trunk of my car. I had an Oldsmobile. We had like 2 of us paid or 3, and then as soon as we pulled up, I opened up the trunk, and it was like something out of a Beatles movie. Everybody just started sliding all over the place, falling out of the vehicle. It was a lot of fun.
Boy, imagine back then what troubles you got into, huh, Biggie?
Yeah, but if you got in trouble, they would like slap you on the wrist. It just didn't seem like. I grew up in LA. It was so fun growing up there.
Yeah.
So fun. And it just seemed like it was so much less complicated in that time.
Carefree, huh?
Yeah. To me, it seemed like that. But
Yeah.
I think every generation says that, oh, back in the old days, it was blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it was very, very simple life. I mean, there was only, 3 or 4 channels on television.
Right.
So you had to come up with something to do. You didn't have all the instant entertainment like we have.
Not anymore, though, man. Every child, this new generation now, they are very, very into, computers and phones, and everything is on the internet.
It's better in some ways. Like people can be connected like us right now. We have 4 different countries represented right here at the same time.
Right.
That's beautiful. And access to information, things like that. But
yeah, of course.
I think it's bad in the sense that people don't learn skills, life skills like they used to because they're just on the computer all the time. That's the bad part of it.
Everything they have to Google to find an answer.
Becky, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Like when you were young, like I know LA is big, right? And it's like very nice areas and very poor areas. But like, did you have like rich parents, or did you make it on your own for all you did in your life?
My parents are upper middle class. At this stage, they were probably lower middle class when they got married. There's mobility in life. You start off here and you move up. Since I was 18, though, I've never received a dollar from one person on earth. My parents never helped me. Not that they didn't offer. I was so hard-headed and such a difficult kid at that time. I'd rather be homeless than let my parents help me. That's kind of how I was. So I had to scrape, scratch, like a wild animal, and figure out how to live and how to make a living and all that. I will tell you this though, HK, seriously speaking, I know I said it earlier. When you take alcohol, medication, and drugs out of the equation, like completely remove them from the equation, you'd be amazed at what you can do. If you hamper yourself with those vices, you stunt your growth.
I agree with that. I don't do drugs, so I never do for many years. There is someone have
noise. Is that you, April?
It's April.
April, can you mute that? Can you mute that?
Sorry.
All right, there we go. Sorry, that was very loud. No, I mean, I know I have a drinking problem. I'm fully aware, but like the reason I do because I'm sad about my family stuff, But at the same time, I realize what you're saying because I grew up pretty poor, but I still managed to travel for years, and I did many things, and like all that I did on my own, like no one paid me or.
That's good.
The travel bug is something like I traveled across Europe when I was 18. Okay, I didn't have any money. I just sort of I was sleeping in barns, riding bicycles, and sneaking on trains. You know, I mean, if you have it in you, you can figure out how to do all that. But I don't mean to nag you, but I will tell you, because you're a young guy, you got to give up the booze, man, because you know it'll help you accomplish everything else. The sadness will never go away by drinking. You will never drink that sadness away. I've had sadness, I've had things, family problems, just like everybody. I can go on and on telling you that is never a solution for anything in life.
I know. It's not a solution, but it's like the easy option, you know.
Might be the easy option, but it's not the best option. In fact,
How old are you anyway, Jay?
I'm 37.
Oh wow, okay.
We're we're about 19 years older than you, Miss Sapster and I, and as you get older, you're going to see that. I mean, it will absolutely destroy you, and it'll destroy every relationship you have, and you'll never be able to do things that you want to do in life. So I'm not trying to nag you or be like a mother, but I am in a way, because I remember when I was 37, and sometimes you need an older man or older woman to slap you around a little bit and tell you to stop doing that stupid shit. And the YouTube people, I've seen you on YouTube for years. I like you a lot too, but the YouTube people, they want to see that train wreck. They want to see you freak out all the time and get drunk. I don't want to see that. I want to see you flourish in life, and I'm urging you to at least stop doing it for a year and see if it gets better. If you don't like it, go back to getting drunk every day.
Yeah. Drunk every day, and then
you're a good guy, dude. I mean, you know, you are. You seem like a really nice guy, and I just.
Does he have a channel?
You know Ben Newton, right? Street Life Asia.
Yeah,
I
met
him,
Ben
right?
Newton too, and he's a nice person in real life, but he's another guy that's absolutely on its course of a suicide mission.
When his content is, you know, like when he go walk on the streets and show everything, he does so well, you know. And then like for 3 weeks, he's just like fucking drunk all the time, like crazy drunk, 10 times more than me.
And he's 32 doing that. He's a very talented guy. He's a very nice person when you meet him off camera, you know, offline. But what's the future? I mean, could you even possibly think that he would make it to his 40th birthday at the current trajectory?
No, but like, you know, like me, I drink a lot. I know that. But when I watch him, I think, wow, this guy is like crazy, you
know? That's how you look half the time, dude. If you want to see, I mean, I'm telling you. Same thing with Gogus and all these other guys. I mean, they're cool guys, but then, you know, anyway, I'm just gonna say this: the answer will never be in that alcohol, dude. And if you want to drink socially once in a while, I don't drink at all anymore, but I would. You know, I drink a beer or something like that. I have no problem doing it once in a while, but life is so much better when you're not drinking. I went out with Mrs. Hapster here. She was over here. What was that, about a month or so back? We went out all night long. Were you drinking? I don't remember.
No.
Yeah, you drinks, right? No, you don't drink either. So I don't know about you, but I mean, we were drinking the sparkling water. We had just as much fun being sober as we ever would have if we were drinking.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to drink to have fun or to be around with people. Seriously. I mean, you can do other things than just sitting there getting drunk.
I really understand what you're saying. The only thing I mean is like, for the people who have like a problem addiction, like either alcohol or drugs or whatever, like mostly like even the people want to help you or something, or like make you feel better when they say you should do this or that. It's more of a trigger than help, you know, because you're like, why is this random guy telling me this? And then you want to do it more, you know.
That's true, but you have to do it for yourself and not for other people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, if you want to improve your life, you have to make the decision yourself, you know, not because some random person tell you to do it.
That's a way to think about it. But here's the reason why I'm telling you my side. I see people like you and so many, Jamie, and just there's so many people that they want them to fail. They want to see the train wreck. They want to see you completely make a fool out of yourself. They find entertainment in that. And so I'm trying to go hard the other direction because I care about you and I don't want you to become the entertainment for other people that want to encourage you to destroy yourself.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
I agree. I agree. I don't talk to him a lot, but I've been on a panel with Jamie like a few times, and I think he's like a decent guy, you know. But when he drinks, he's a very different person, you know.
Like everyone, yeah. If he's sober, he's a great guy. But when you add the alcohol, the pills, you know, whatever else is going in, there's very few people on earth who can do that on a consistent basis and not have it, you know, completely change their personality. So if you can't see it in yourself, look at those ones that you've seen it and try to say, is that what I look like when I'm drunk? And the answer is yes, you do.
Yeah,
So
but that's like a reasonable thing, right? Like, you know, like the old term, like throwing stones in a glass house, right? Like
yeah,
you shouldn't judge another person unless you're doing well, you know.
yes, I agree with that. But I don't think we're trying to judge you, but we're looking at it like, you know, we're a little bit older than you and we see what happens when it doesn't get stopped. It becomes a
Yeah, I know, but
very difficult thing.
I'm
Let me
even
ask
I'm
you,
drinking.
HK, let me ask you a serious question here. I don't think you have any children, if I recall.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But if you had a child who was 18 or 21 or something like that, and they were drunk every day, what would you tell them?
I think that's like the moment in life that change you, right? Because when you have a child, like your mindset change, right? Because you think, okay, I need to. This is my job now. I need to look after my kid, right?
Yeah.
So like, even if
Same.
you're like a party guy or a crazy guy, your mentality change when you have a kid because you have something you have to care about a lot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be responsible. I mean, but I'm saying, like, if you, in your present state right now, if you can imagine if you had a kid that was now legal age to do whatever, and you saw the same pattern, what would you advise that kid to do?
I can't really relate because I never had children. The most thing I can relate with this is when I have a dog and some guy want to play with my puppy and she like just nibble on her finger on his finger, you know, like she barely have teeth. She's like 3 weeks old, and the guy gets angry and like kill your dog, and that's like the I'm a dad vibe, you know. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I fucking kill you right now, you know. Don't fucking talk my dog like that.
Isn't he that day?
Do you have any nieces or nephews?
Yeah, I have.
Hmm. How do you see them? I mean, are they? How do you influence your nieces or nephew? How do they see you?
uh, just like 1 2 times a month, you know. They live like 3 hours away from me.
I see. Yeah, you're right. You cannot relate because you don't have a child. That question, but that goes with having nieces or nephews around, you know,
Or
Yeah, yeah,
friends,
or friends. Yeah, friends.
or even
but
like your
you
mother
guys
or
have
your
children,
father.
right? Like if you have like a kid that's like 15 or 14 years old, and then you have like some weirdo on the internet trying to send her fucking dirty picture or something, like you want to kill the guy, right? That's the first instinct.
There you go.
I mean, let me just use one other example to try to make the point. You've known Honeyco for years, right? You've been coming on. I've seen you. What if you knew that every time the show was over, Honeyco had to go get drunk to survive the day? She had to get plastered. Wouldn't you say, like, why don't we, what's going on, Honeyco? Like, what is driving you to do this? Like, why do you need this? It's not about being festive anymore. It's not like going to a party and having fun anymore. It's about drowning out whatever pain is going on that's doing it. So even though you don't know her, you never met her, you've known her online, you would say, like, gosh, it would shock you, right? If you knew that she was drunk every single day.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually shock me. I never seen Honeyco drunk. I just seen like stay in the room, you know.
Right. But what if you knew that was what's happening? This is all a facade. And as soon as she went on, she was so sad that every day she had to get plastered just to make it through the day. I mean, wouldn't you feel like, gosh, I mean, what's going on?
All you're saying is so correct, because no one drinks every day because it makes them happy. They drink every day to forget the sadness or the bad stuff, you know.
Right. But I want you to try to relate it to Honeyco, because you and Honeyco are the same age. Exact same
That
age.
is the sadness.
No, I think I'm 10 years older than her. What?
Oh, she's 37.
Really?
I thought you told me you were 21, Haniko. Dang it.
I thought
But
she was like 29 or 30.
If you can relate it to any of the people, like even on Maria's show, even on different people's shows, if you saw it in somebody else that normally you wouldn't associate with it, you would be shocked, and you would probably say something to her. You'd probably actually try to do a little preaching to her too. You'd say, like, gosh, were you crazy? What are you doing? That's what we're talking about here. Not to judge, because none of us have any right to judge anybody, but I see this trend happening with the people on YouTube, and it's sad to me.
Yeah, that's true, Biggie. I think some are like taken so they think it's fun when they see people like that, you know, and then they engage to that kind of you know situation, and makes it worse for the other person. But then again, there's nobody else can help you but yourself. Seriously, right?
That's
It
true.
is. I believe it. No one else but yourself.
But we don't like to see people,
Of course.
harmed. We don't
Yep.
like to see the mentality of attacking, gossiping. I think everyone that we know, we want to see flourish in life and have a happy life. So that mentality that wants to tear everybody down, and I can speak for Miss Saps or myself or Celia and Honeyco. None of us like to see that. That is something we're not, we don't want any part of that. So
Right.
don't let anybody exploit you, JHK. Don't let them turn you into a circus freak that they can make, have as somebody to make fun of your alcoholism.
Like, I just say this first. First of all, I don't make content, you know. I don't make video. So, like, there is no one in the comments who's trolling me. I'm just come on the panel sometime. But what she said is so correct. Like, if you have a good advice in life, I really understand what you say. Like, you're coming from a good place and you try to give good advice to me how to improve myself, right? I understand that.
Yes.
But when it's on the internet, like, the advice need to come from a person that's like your friend or a close person, right? Because you trust them. Like, if some random asshole on the internet says you got to do this or that, like, how can you care?
Because it's better if it comes from a friend, yes. But if your friends are not taking you to the side and trying to intervene with this, then you got to get the truth from wherever you can get it from. Would you take the truth, JHK, from the devil himself? If you were working a math equation or a physics equation and the devil himself gave you the equation, gave you the answer, would you take it?
I'm not
I
saying
would
you're a bad guy. I'm just saying like we didn't talk a lot, right? Like I
no.
like you and I respect you and I think you're a very decent guy and you have a lot of experience like that. But like if I want like someone to tell me to stop drinking, I want it to be the person that I know for like 3 years. Like, hey, come on, man, stop it. Come on.
Well, go and ask somebody you've known for 3 years to tell you the same advice. Maybe a doctor that you trust. But I don't talk to you very much because Honeyco's show is on at 4 a.m. my time, and I'm not going to get up for that.
Yeah, but same as me. I don't come often because it's
And 5 a.m.
even for
sometimes.
me. I sleep early.
I only
But
come up on these karaoke streams, which she does on her day off. Of course, she'll be home in 11 days. So she'll change the time slot, I'm sure. I hope.
That's right. You'll be going back to the Philippines, yeah, Haniko?
July
That's
1st.
Hold on, guys.
Honeycomb,
when
where when you
wow.
go back to Philippines, what's your home city? Like, where do you live in Philippines?
I prefer Manila. Hold on, guys. Manila. Hold on.
Manila,
She'll be
Manila.
staying with us for a while,
That's cool.
and then she'll probably be setting up in Bulacan because she is part
Where?
of her business there. Bulacan, which is
Bulacan. Okay.
Bulacan.
Oh yeah. That's
Bulacan. It's up
Bulacan.
northern Manila. I mean,
Yeah.
between Manila and Angeles City, sort of.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
anyway,
weird
DJ,
though.
just think
It's
about
weird
it,
though
man.
in Asia, you know. Like you can have like a fucking fancy, super nice condo, and then you go 20 minutes and it's fucking ghetto, you know.
It can be, yeah.
Has he been to the Philippines?
Me, no, only Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia.
Hmm. Let's see.
But it's same there, you know, like you can rent a condo for like 50,000 pesos, and then you walk for 10 minutes, and it's like small home,
50,000
like
pesos? Boy,
the
you're
local are
you
very
gotta
nice
be in
always.
millionaires club for that price of a condo.
No, not really.
I
Yeah, there
think
are some places out there that are like that. I mean, you just have to pick and choose what part of the country, I guess.
in fairness, like you just were there for a month, right? And the one thing you can say is that Philippines is not Hawaii. I mean, that's a fair statement.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, if you're expecting to be a cheaper version of Hawaii, you're really going to be in for a rude awakening because in no way is it like Hawaii. So you have to learn to calibrate in your mind that it's a developing third world country and corrupt country to boot on a lot of levels. So you have to calibrate that. You have to
But it's
understand.
really not like that, bro. Because like if you go in a tourist area with a lot of bars and foreigners and people on holiday, a lot of stuff is like that. Like they want your money and they want to milk every dollar you have. But when you go in the small area, like the people are amazing. Like they are just
Oh,
happy to see like a foreigner and they want to invite you to their home. They want to cook you dinner. They want to like come dance with my grandma, come sing karaoke, do this and that. Like
yeah. Don't
they're
get me
just happy
wrong.
to see you, you know.
I love the people here. I get along with everybody, but it is notoriously corrupt in politics and in practice. I mean, it's just nothing works the way you want it to work. It's just a very different experience than living in the
Yeah, but
States.
that's the thing that it depends on. Like if you travel to a tourist area and go to like a sex district or like bar area like that, the people who like the Thai people or the whatever people who go there, they gonna be the bad ones, you know, because they come there for the money, right? But the local people in other areas are not like that, right?
No, they're not like that. And I don't go to those areas myself. I got 3 children I'm raising here, so we're not in the sex district, that's for sure. Although there was a lot of sex involved to produce those.
But you know what I mean, right? Like
No, I know what you
that.
mean, but if you no, but that I really love the Filipino people, and I love the country itself. I enjoy my time here, but what I'm saying is, I spend an enormous amount of money to live the life that makes it enjoyable. If you try to do this on a really tight budget, I don't think it would be that enjoyable. I think that you're better off staying put. That's my opinion, of course. I'd love to hear Mick Fisher and Miss Haps's opinion on that.
I never tried to travel on a small budget, like maybe like $4,000 a month. That's like, all right, I can do it. Well, I never tried to live in a fan room or like try to be cheap or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
when I travel, I try not to set myself on a budget because sometimes you're either when you I don't want to set up myself for something that's not going to work for me. I like to be out there comfortably, traveling with. I don't travel by myself. When I'm somewhere, I travel with a lot of people. So when you are in the Philippines, for example, when you travel and you're a visitor or you're a foreigner, you are you're not necessarily entitled to take them all, to treat them all, but in a way, you have the means, right? So you bring all these people with you, and of course you gotta feed them. When you go somewhere, you don't want to go like in a nice place, and all of a sudden these people are what? They're gonna sit and watch you? No way, right? So, but I try not to put myself like some kind of budget. I know my limit for that, but when it goes to I don't try to extend, especially on food. No way. My
Well, you're a
husband
tourist
would
though,
kick
not
my
a
butt.
resident. That's different.
Mm,
You're there to enjoy your. I mean, if you were living there, living in the Philippines,
yes,
you
yes,
have to do it
exactly.
all different. Now, when you were here,
It makes me
I
sure.
have a feeling I'm the only person that ever picked up a bill the entire time you were here. I think you were shelling out money like there was no tomorrow because of the type of people you were, all the people you were meeting, and that gets old, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
I was with you at the very end of your trip, and you were pretty fried from all the charity that
Well, I
you had
was
given
doing
out.
it for, there was for that was actually there's a set time for that, for those charity that I was doing. Yes, sure.
Well, when I
Because
say
that was
charity, I'm
already
talking about
taught.
your YouTube charity. You know,
Well,
you bring in the happy dance people, and all of a sudden you've got a bill for 30,000 pesos. You know what I
I
mean?
may
oh, look at you. You
Wow,
came up.
that's Mick. He's driving. Jeez, I didn't think he
Nick
could drive.
Fisher is in the
I
house.
almost forgot how. It's been a long time.
What hat is
Look,
that you have on? Is that the
High
Buckeye
state
hat?
hat. Yeah, the standard Buckeye hat. I've got a rotation of like 3 or 4.
he's back in America. Look at him,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
arrogant, cocky.
the boring
good
Ohio.
times. Good times.
No, Ohio
Yeah,
has
it's
some
farm field after farm field after farm field.
farm, Ohio farm. But yeah, I mean, sure, Vicky. Of course, I enjoyed myself out there. I mean, I loved it. But yeah, I mean, there was a time when I said, okay, that's enough of that. Time for me. You know what I mean?
I
So
think you hit that about 3 or 4 days before I met you. You were already at the end of your rope.
I
But
was
I
like, okay,
understand
time
it
for me.
because
That's probably
I've
why
been through it.
I got so freaking tired. I was going, and the fatigue just got to me. Plus the heat.
He
You
was
know,
brutal, yeah. But we had a great time though.
we
I
sure
love
did.
that day. I
Mhm.
love that day.
It was fun to be out there. Yeah.
And Mick Fisher
uh,
couldn't go.
Biggie, bro, I want to ask you one more question before I take a nap.
Okay,
Like, well, I
good.
think this is like the most stupid thing I think about YouTube. When people make all these vlogs and they're saying like, what's the cost of living? How much for that? It's bullshit, you know? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all about your lifestyle, right? Like, if you can
Absolutely.
eat food and have a condo for this price, okay, sure. But if you go out or you want girls and stuff like that, like you can, of course, you can. If you try to be a cheap Charlie or do nothing, you can live on $700 a month. But if you want to go crazy and party and have a lot of girls, you can spend $7,000 too, right?
I think the most reasonable thing would be coming from Mick Fisher, if he can hear me. I always said before, you need about 3,000 a month to live, reasonable. And he came here as a single guy living in alone, and he spent 3,000 a month at least. And
But that's reasonable, you know. But like
he did.
if you go to Central Bangkok and you party every night and you drink with the girls and buy drinks and shit like that, you spend 10 grand easy, you know.
Right, and
And
he
then if you
doesn't do
go,
any of that. He's not a drinker, but I'm saying, the people that are saying you can do it on 500 a month or 1,000, I don't know what planet they're living in, and he doesn't know either because he spent at least three k a month. So if you like the idea that you're going to move from the States to live a Filipino lifestyle like a province person in a nipa hut, you work all your life and graduate to that. I just can't even. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. If you came over here and lived a equal or better life, then it's great. I love living here. But if you came over here to live like people who are desperate to get out of here live, makes no sense whatsoever.
of course, like even in Philippines, like a call center agent, they make like $400 a month, right?
Yep.
But that's a Filipino salary, and they work and they eat local food every day. They live with their family, so it's like decent for there, you know. But as a foreigner to live on that, it's like what the fuck? Like how
The,
can I live on this? You know?
the amazing thing about that is I made more money than that when I was in 1985 when I was working when I was still in high school. And I don't even know how they survive. I've lived here for 10 years. I still don't know how they survive. I don't know how they do it, even with the 400 or 500 a month job, which is really high compared to most jobs here. I've never been able to figure out how they survive.
Is
Do
that
you know
enough?
what's a Filipino salary like if you're a waitress or work in McDonald's or in a mall or
Oh,
something like that?
not even 200 a month.
Is it
Hey,
really?
like
Is it really
Yeah,
like that?
yeah,
Mhm.
10,000 a month, about little less than 200.
Less.
A
Yeah.
sales lady would be about 10K a month in Cebu and maybe 10, 11K in Manila. But
No wonder they're so happy when I leave them 150 peso on tips.
oh, all right. But then they
That's too
can't
much
keep the
now,
tip.
Mrs. House.
They're not allowed to keep the tip. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It goes into a
Oh,
group tip thing.
Exactly.
It's You got to tip
but
your
that
hat to these
sucks,
people
man.
for being
That
so
that really
resilient.
sucks, you know. Like it's like it's like pushing girls to like try to find some old rich guy, you know.
It does, and that's why when we do anything, like if I hire somebody to clean, as an example, I always pay them double what they make anywhere else. So if the going rate's 500 a day, I'll pay them 1,000.
makes sense.
Anyone handyman work, anything like that, because it's still a fraction of what we would pay back home for the same service. And they need it. I mean, imagine if you worked all day long and you made
$8.
$8,
Jeez.
$1 an hour. When I was in high school, the minimum wage was $3.35, and I made about $4 an hour when I worked at Taco Bell in 1984, 85. Remember?
I made, I think I did like $4.25 when I start working.
Oh yeah, you probably were a swing manager, right?
Sweet.
I bet you. And then I worked at the stadium. I worked at Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, and I was the peanut guy. And I made sometimes $100 to $200 per game, but that was they didn't have games all the time. So those were the jobs I did in high school. So if you added both those together, I made more money than a manager does right now at a call center, and that was in the mid 1980s. So it sucks for these people, man. It's absolutely sucks.
Mick Fisher, you can jump in anytime. What are you showing us?
I'm just listening.
Thomas Brown said he made $5.15 an hour at his first job.
Mm.
That for a long time the minimum wage didn't go up that much, and then probably by that time that's where it was. Now it's kind of
bro, I have a story for you if you want to hear. It's kind of it's like a little bit funny and kind of sad at the same time and kind of weird. Well, like it's not about Asian people. This is in Europe. Like one of my first Swedish girlfriends, we work the same job, you know. We work in the casino as dealers. We deal the card, you know.
Yeah.
And she go work in London for like a big tournament or something. And the guy have like a crush on her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he tell her, okay, how to say, like if I convert it to Philippine pesos, it would be like after the game finished, he offer her 150,000 pesos to suck his dick and swallow his cum one night.
The hell?
And you know, at that time she's 22, she's a young girl, you know, and that's like 3 months salary. So she did it.
So that's prostitution then.
Yeah, kind of. But like
it's not kind of it is.
like it is, but it's like if your salary is like 40,000 a month, and then you get like, okay, I can make 150,000 in 30 minutes. Like how it's hard to say no, you know, as a girl, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to say no. We were just talking about that earlier. April and I were how she worked at an American insurance company before Accenture, and some of the people that worked there, even though they were professionals and they were college graduates, they were prostituting on the side because the pressure that is put on these people by their family to support everybody leads to widespread prostitution of all classes of people. Same thing with the drug problem. There's no incentive for a young boy to go make 400 pesos a day, $8 a day or something, when he can go sell shabu for 20 minutes and make 3 times that amount. So
yeah. Well, it's just crazy, like, you know, like if you compare that salary to Asia, like 150K, like if you work in the mall, that's like half a year of salary, you know, for 30 minutes.
It's more than a year of salary actually for a mall worker.
Yeah,
it's about a year.
Like, how can you say no if you get that offer, even if like some old fat guy? I don't know.
Oh, I think that would be true in America too. If you offered people a year and a half of salary to suck someone's dick, I'm sure a lot of people would.
Yeah, but that would be like 20 times more.
No, if in real dollars, if you took a person, the average salary in America is $68,000. If you offered, or $72,000 a year as the median income, if you were to go and say, I'm going to give you 72,000 plus 3 more months of that, 90K to suck my dick, I'm sure 99.9% of American women would do the same thing.
Yeah, and I think
that
that's
amount
correct.
for that enormous amount. and that's the unfair advantage that Western people have here. They can exploit the shit out of people because they're in that precarious situation. It's a terrible thing, man. I mean, look at Honeyco. She's been living in the shithole of Saudi for almost 10 years, and we're not going to let her leave this time. I will handcuff her and hide her in the basement before I let her go back to Abha.
Oh my goodness.
Not going to happen.
Haniko, did you really have like big problems when you're staying there, like with your host or like the guy who hired you?
Blackjack, someone in the background playing something. My goodness.
She's always lived outside JHK. She worked at a hospital for most of her time and another medical clinic in Jeddah. So she's different than the average person who's there. But her whole life, and she's honest, has been filled with sadness, with being scared, with being lonely. It's not easy to be an OFW in Saudi. That's putting it mildly. It wasn't even easy for Mrs. Hapster lived in Riyadh at an Air Force base with her husband, who was a high-ranking enlisted man, and it wasn't easy for her to live there on a U.S. Air Force base. How much more somebody who has no say, no power, no voice, by herself?
You know what, Iggy? That's why I have so much respect for Asian people, because when they hurt or their life is sad or something happened, they just put on a big smile and treat everyone nice, just laughing and having fun. And they don't, like Western people, they're like, okay, I'm sad, like, give me your attention, and I need doctors and pills, and I need to stay off work, and I need this and that. Like Asian people are just great in that way. Like they just put on a smile and go back to work next day,
Well, they go back to work the next day, but I've gotten to know so many of the OFWs, and Honeyco could tell you this as well. There's not a lot of happy people there. There's a lot of, almost all of them are cheating and sneaking around on their spouses, and there's a lot of problems that go on with this thing, more than people realize. I've had people talk to me before. This happens to me almost every day when I'm over there. They'll tell me, like, I'll ask them simple questions like, when was the last time you went home? I asked Honeyco, when's the last time you've been home? It was 6 years ago. Why don't you go home more often? Because they're gonna suck every penny dry. They're gonna bleed me down to zero. And so many of the OFWs I talk to are not only sad and lonely, but they're broke. So it's a tough situation.
But Haniko, she did well. Like she saved, right? Like I think most of the people just like send most of the part of the money they make. They just send it home, and then they live on almost nothing, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. And Mike Dowdy, to answer, I want to point what he's saying. You're right, Thomas. They are lonely, man. It's just like, it's incredible when you talk to them, when you actually go to these places. And then let's say you have a wait staff, and this happened to me countless times. I'm the only person in the restaurant, and I've got 6 Filipino workers there, and they come over and they talk sometimes for hours. And they go through the whole list of issues, and it's, or at the hotels, same thing. And then the thing about 65% less on the Norwegian cruise line, you have to understand. I'll give you an example, Mike Dowdy, where Honeyco works as an example. Let's say that Honeyco makes $600 a month. Let's just say the Saudi worker, the people that are from there that do the exact same job, they'll make $1,100 a month for doing the exact same work. So it's not like it is in America, where even if you're an illegal alien, or if you're an alien who's legal and you're allowed to work, you can't have a bifurcated salary structure where you pay Americans $20 an hour and you pay Asians $10 an hour for the same job. That will never fly. But in places like Saudi, they pay them a half or a third of what they make the local people at the same work. So it really does suck. Cost the flight home would be likely to eat up multiple. Oh, it will. Not only will it. That's part of it, Thomas. But the other part of it is they won't let him go. So Honeyco's father passed away a number. What was that? 2019 was it? She tried to get a ticket to go to the father's funeral, and they just won't do it. They said no. He's already dead, and you're under contract. So it's like there's literally nothing you can do. There's no recourse to that. You can abscond, you could leave, but then if you do, you're going to be blacklisted, and then you're going to have to pay your own ticket, and you might even end up in jail for a while.
That's just so sad, you know. Like, no, not one real, like, any like half decent person, they would never take your passport or like fucking demand something to just like go back home to visit your sick parents. That's not a thing, at least in my opinion.
Well, they have no recourse, and that I wish people would do shows on OFWs and tell the truth of what's going on with OFWs, because
I don't know a lot about that, but like some of the stories I heard, it can be very, very bad, you know. Like
it is. I mean, look at Honeyco. I've known her for years, right? She's smiling to everybody and trying to be polite, but in reality, she's crying herself to sleep every night. It's a sad, miserable, and lonely life there. That's just the way it is.
Well, I think same, like if you have someone like you that she can like trust and confide in, I think it's good for her, you know, like she talk about the situation and she trusts you to listen, you know.
Well, I'm definitely going to help her because I've known her, you know, but I wish they all would talk. I mean, Rena Hall, all of them, Mars Bancoot, all the ones I knew, they all are, you know, were put in a very difficult situation. Mars Bancoot did 17 years in Kuwait. You get done with that, you have no skills that are marketable back in the Philippines, and you have no money left over, and you were away from your kids and your family for 17 years. And so, you know what I'm saying? I wish there were more people that would share and more talk about the real truth behind it. I can tell you, at least with Honeyco, if you knew the real truth, you'd be begging her to move back to the Philippines.
I completely agree, but it's like about it's not just about Filipina offshore or something. Like every one that has any kind of problem, like family or drinking or drugs or whatever, like it's better if you talk to it with someone you know and you trust and you feel they care about your best interest, you know. That's always the best thing you can do.
Absolutely. I guess the problem what they have though is they don't have anybody they know or trust. In fact, sad to say, Honeyco got scammed out of tons of money from other Filipinas who never paid her back. I think she's down like 140,000 pesos right now.
Is that for those?
Oh, wow.
What are those like pautang, Haniko? Loans?
Really?
Really? That's not good.
And they all tell the same stuff. It's not just her, but you know, I've had the conversation again and again and again with Filipinos that work abroad. Mm-hmm. I like the OFWs better than any garden variety Filipinos, to be honest with you. They're very hardworking and decent, but it's I just wish that people would talk about it more and actually share what really happens. But they're very stoic people. You know, they're very
the experience they have.
They don't really.
Yeah, but you're so correct, you know, because like these kind of people, like they are very unselfish, you know, like they sacrifice their life to go work and take care of the family and all they have to do, you know. And then when it's come to their own problems, it's like, no, I don't want to talk about it.
They're remarkably stoic that way. But the reality is, when you start putting people on the dole, you start paying people to sit at home on their lazy ass, and somebody else sacrifices for them. The minute that money dries up, you're not there. They're not in love with you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're a piece of shit that forgot about us here. And this is the pressure these people are going under. I mean, I've heard it from literally hundreds. They're everything, the anxiety of having to keep people afloat who are not carrying their own weight back home. This is the real truth and reality of what goes on.
Yeah, I understand that. That's like the only thing I think is this, like the woman who actually goes abroad and works hard to provide for everyone, like no one should be angry at her for doing that shit and just sit on their ass and waiting for money to come, you know.
But you just described most of the drunks in YouTube too. Most of them don't work. They're getting disability because they're drunk all the time because of mental issues. Right? They'd cut those checks off. I guarantee you they would find work tomorrow.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you're like, say if you're like the daughter or like the son or the niece of Honeycomb, and then she stops sending money, like would you be angry at her when she stay fucking years in Saudi to work hard?
They do though. That's the problem. Once you're
That's what
on
I
the
mean.
dole, you can't cut them off. Nobody wants to talk about this particular issue, but I guarantee you Miss Sapster would have to agree with this. I mean, she is Daddy Warbucks there. And as long as she's got her checkbook out, she's got an army of people. And if they become dependent on her, as soon as that money dries up, she's no longer the fair-haired boy. She is now a devil who forgot about us. This is what happened.
You know, like I'm not like sometime I did, yes, of course, like most of the guys. But if I go in a lady bar in Thailand and I spend, you know, like I'm happy today, I spend like 10,000 baht or whatever. Like the woman in the bar, they expect the same every day, you know.
Yes.
Because that's
So
their
like,
job. Because that's
yeah,
why they're.
like you know, like if I spend 10,000 today, if I don't spend 10,000 tomorrow, they think I'm an asshole. And why you don't buy everything same yesterday, you know?
Well, that's human nature. It's not about countries. It's like when you get people dependent on the government or on other people for their livelihood, lots of mischief happens. So
of course it does.
I think that people should, I mean, look, I'm telling you this as the biggest simp in the history of the Philippines. I have given more money out than anyone you've met. I'm not saying I have mastered this because I have fallen for everything, but I've made a lot of mistakes because I got people depending on that, and then you catch them doing something, you have to cut it off, and then
they do it again.
That's and so you should make people earn it somehow, not just hand it off like it's some kind of like you feel sorry for them and you're going to put them on the dole, basically.
Make them more.
It hurts them. Yeah, Thomas, she's been there for going on almost 9 or 10 years, and just to go through the history of that, her and I were dating each other right when she was about to leave to Saudi, and then she had to go do her contract, and so we stopped. That's how we knew each other long before YouTube times. She already had a contract, and she was forced to go. It says, "I'm only going to go for 2 years. Will you wait for me?" I said, "No, I won't. You're going to abandon me. I'm going to abandon you."
Bye bye.
But that's how we know each other. But anyway, no. I mean, honestly, I wish somebody would do shows on this because
But nobody. I'd like to do something like that, but nobody wants to. I tried. I tried to do an OFW's show, but nobody wants to sign up for it. They're all like
Right, Mama? Right?
afraid or like, oh, too much nosebleed. I'm like, come on.
yep, Riley's had the same idea. They couldn't get anybody to do it.
They don't want
So
to talk about it.
But Mama H, that actually like that's super interesting to listen to. Like that's what I don't want to talk bad or something. I just want to understand the issues people have, like
Mhm.
staying abroad and dealing with their shit. Like for me, it's interesting to listen to that.
Yeah. I mean, once in a while, there's topics like that, but then, some random people would come up and just ruined everything. I like doing that before. Remember, from the beginning, it's all about talking certain things, and then all of a sudden it becomes the freak show. So I'm like, okay, stay away from it for a while. Maybe this time around, maybe it's time, like you said, Vicky, time to bring something back, like just a bunch of adults trying to talk to each other of certain
well,
things,
you know what?
not necessarily having a topic. You know what I mean? A topic just goes out the window sometimes.
I was watching the Honeyco Classics as an example recently. The earliest 2 or 3 live streams that she ever had, and she couldn't speak very well. It was like there was like a delay in her brain.
Mhm.
But back then,
Oh, I don't know how to explain. I don't know to answer that answer.
yeah. But you
Because
would have panelists, including I watched one with you, Miss Sapser, and she would have 6 or 8 people, and they would talk about it. It was very good. It's very civil. She didn't do much talking, but everybody was. This is kind of pre-COVID era,
Right.
and it was good. It was it was actually good. And some of the panels that used to happen, some of the discussions, and it just sort of went by the wayside. It's hard to watch YouTube anymore compared to how it
Yeah.
was.
It was good back then, but then, like I said, there's people that would come up and just started something. So I'm like, okay, I didn't want to go to that route, that kind of, too much nagging and negativity. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to be that channel. So
That was a wise decision because getting in the drama
no,
stuff,
no,
it's
that's not me.
total waste. Total waste of time.
My
I mean,
husband would definitely unplug me from internet world. So
but it would be good if you did it, if you tried to do it, where you have something like that again. That would actually be really cool if it can be done.
right.
This is the closest thing to something like that I've seen in a long time, actually, where it's like there's a few people having a conversation
Hmm.
without all the bomb throwing and name
Right.
calling.
The threats, name calling, and that was so horrible. It was like, come on, this is enough is enough. And then we go back again to being belligerent and just sit there behind the computer and try to act up because you've had either too much to drink or you know. Where you
Sister,
going?
ask you-
Are you going to my sister's house? I'm kidding.
patient.
I want to ask you, like, did you only work abroad or did you get married already? Like, have a husband in another country?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I met my husband here in US of A. I am Filipino, if you're wondering. Yes, I am 100% Filipino. But as Big E would say, I am Americanized.
She lived 10
Mm.
more years, 12 more years of her life in America than I.
Yeah.
How long you been married?
Oh my gosh. I'd
31
say
years.
over 30 something years.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yeah.
I really feel like a
She
kid
grew up in
now.
Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and her husband's an American, and he's an Air Force
Mm, yep, yep,
uncommissioned
yep.
officer, E8 or E9. And her daughter is a
The
graduate of the
American
Academy,
dream.
so she's an American more than I am, far more.
That's
I
right.
just feel like a kid, you know, when she said married for 30 years, it's like, you know, that was before I'm like 5 years old, you know?
Hey, hey, watch it. I'm not that old. Oh boy.
JHK, we were in high school
Yeah,
before you were born. So
that's right. You're still
we graduated high school before you were born. What year were you born,
you're
JHK?
still in the bottle
86?
on a bottle.
85, 85.
Okay, that's our last year in high school.
Yeah.
But how long did you know her? Like, how many years?
Who?
Me and Biggie and I. How many years now,
Yeah.
Biggie?
Oh, probably 4 or 5.
4.
You know,
I'd say
a lot.
4.
2019, you know,
Yes.
all this live streaming started in 2019, and then
Yep.
we went through a few years of all the fake LDRs. That was dominating for a while. Thank God that's over.
I was the what is that? The grand aunt on the LDR.
Thankfully that's all done. And then we went through COVID, which no one was allowed to come here for 2 years. I lived here during that time, but and everyone was wacky as hell from like once COVID hit for about the next 3-6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So I've
went
known
there.
her for about 4 years, 5 years, and I've known Honeyco for about 10.
But you know, something I want to give you one compliment because I think like if you talk to someone online and it doesn't work out or something like that, I think you're a good guy because the woman that is in your past is still your friend, you know? And I respect that
Truthfully,
shit.
I'm still great friends with almost everybody I dated. Now I know that not everybody agrees with that philosophy, but I've maintained great friendships with people, even though it didn't work out romantically for whatever reason. The last
Yeah, but
2
I
people
respect
before
if they
moved.
still come to you and your friends, like it means you didn't do something really bad or like
Oh, I've
flash
done
your
lots of
fucking
bad
dog
things.
on YouTube, you know?
Done lots of bad things, but I had 3 consecutive girlfriends that moved. 2 of them to Australia and 1 to Saudi, and I was with them while they were in that transition, and then I helped them move. Did everything I could to help them set them up. They're successful people in Australia and other places now. So, but we maintained friendships because I didn't want to be in an LDR, and I didn't want to continue it because we were going to live in different countries. But yeah, I can't think of anybody that I dated that I had a bad breakup with, who's a Filipina or somebody that I've dated in my second half of my life. My first half of my life was marred with endless shitty relationships.
Yeah,
And
I understand, right? But like
I had to
when
change. Well, I had to change myself.
when I see Honeyco and this other girl on the panel, and like they are still talking to you and they are friendly with you, like I think you're a good guy because you don't treat them bad, right?
No, I don't. But I used to lie all the time. I used to be a scumbag. Was a piece of shit for the first half of my life. So
Yeah, but you improved your life, so it's all right.
I had to. Well, you have to. You either improve it or you continue to go nuclear and destroy everything in your path. I had to do a lot of repenting, and I've had to repent to my parents for running away from home when I was 16. I put them through a living hell for about 8 to 10 days. I remember that. And I did a lot of other shitty things that I regret.
But that's okay.
You were young.
repented, right? you did good things after, and you're not a bad guy anymore, right?
I've asked my parents to forgive me every single time I've talked to them for the last 20 years.
Well, like what I mean is, like if you have like anything bad, if you do anything like super bad, like say Honeyco, she's angry at Darren because he like tried to flash his fucking dick or something. Like you didn't do that kind of shit, right?
No.
In the last recent years.
Well, we've been together, so
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
touched my.
But that's different, right? Like it's not, you know, if you're together, sure, do what you want, you know. If it's like, if like say if I call to Haniko right now, like on video, like, hey, look at my dick. That's not the same, right?
No, no, but I think she's probably seen it that way too. But the thing is, I wouldn't do that. I've never done that before. But a lot of times, the girl doesn't always not want to see it. It just depends on the girl. I've never shown my dick to anybody because I just don't. I can't
Sure,
even.
never seen any dick pic somewhere.
No. Honeyco and I were just talking, or who was I talking to about that? Yeah, Honeyco earlier, before the show, we were talking about that. How we grew up. Anytime you saw nudity, you saw a woman, a nude woman, but you never. I don't recall ever seeing a man's dick in a R-rated or any type of movie in my whole life. By the way, hi Rich Boang too. We sang a song that you would find funny that I played on the guitar. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but earlier in the show, one that you did a short on about a year ago. So hopefully you don't find it and repost
go watch a movie called We're the Millers. It's funny as heck. Talking about dick pic.
We're the Millers.
It's a comedy. We're the Millers, yeah. Jennifer Aniston is in that. It's funny.
What? So to answer your question, JHK, no, I wouldn't do that, but I'm no angel when it comes to that. I mean, believe me, I've done a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have. But that's what life is. We have to learn.
Yeah, I mean like this. I think a lot of guys are like pervert by nature, you know. Like we want sex all the time. That's what we want as men. We are cavemen, right?
Yeah, and I get sex every day, at least twice a day. So
yeah, that's all right. Like good for you, man. What I mean is like the
TMI.
When you think about the girls, like how many
I'm doing
how
that
many
for
messages
how
many messages do you think she gets every day? Like about a sex question or something? Like is it like 10 or 50 or 200 or 700?
Honeyco, 600-700 questions a day about sex? I hope not. I want to know if that's happening. I'm going to contact.
You get tired after 2 questions about that topic. Like, come on, move along, yeah.
But you know, the thing is,
I think if you're a grandma and you're old, you still get that question from the man, right? Like the man asking for sex or something.
You get it if they open the door for it. If they don't want to hear it, she'll snap them out right away, just like she did right now. The thing that happened with Darren Dobson and Honeyco is an example. I don't think Honeyco had a problem seeing Darren Dobson's little micro penis. I think the problem is
oh boy, here we go.
She probably egged it on. I mean, I've diagnosed it. We talked about it a million times. I think she egged it on. She made him think that it was okay to do that. And if he didn't think that, he wouldn't have done it because there's so many other people he didn't do it to. He did it to a lot of people also, but got to be responsibility on both sides. You know, it can't just be But the men,
So,
oh,
so what? So you're saying it's okay to send dick pics?
if the woman wants them,
What?
if the woman wants them. But I wouldn't do it even if the woman wanted it. I would never do it if the woman wanted it. Honeyco, I've had sex with a honeyco about 300 times. She doesn't need to see a dick pic.
Shut up.
Okay, but Biggie, say like this, like if
Mick Fisher
if
had to drop one on that
if
one.
if you message a girl on Instagram or some random app and you're like, "Hello, how are you?" and like before she even answer or something, you're like, "Okay, here's my dick. Look at it."
No way. What the hell?
I would never do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, okay, if it's consensual and you have a relationship or whatever, fine, do it. But like just randomly,
That kind of thing, it's between two people. I mean, it's between them. But for some random person to do that, I mean, give me a break.
But even when you know them, like I have been with honeyco in the past. I wouldn't send her a dick pic. I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know,
just
baby. I'd freaking come and hunt you down, chop you like a damn potato.
what?
What?
I wouldn't send her a dick pic, even though I've been with her in the past. What I'm saying, she knows what it looks like, but I still wouldn't send her a dick pic. It just seems.
Make sure that damn dick pics is wide awake and not a cockeyed, okay?
Make sure it's
no
not
damn,
wearing a turtleneck either.
There's no turtle head. And
That's
there's
the
no, I
JHK
don't need to
style
get
like
a
that.
no,
magnifying
Biggie,
glass.
I'm a good boy, you know. Like right now, I need a 2 minute break. You
I
can
think we
guess,
all
you
need
know.
a break because it's already 1:20 here. I'm gonna step out.
I need to go
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
It's
but
7:20
bro,
here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna head to the bathroom for 2 minutes, and you can guess if I'm going to take a leak or I'm going to send dick pics to Honeycomb.
What?
I'll be back in 2 minutes. I
We
let
won't. We
you.
won't.
It's about that
Well,
one.
we're not going to be here when we get back.
We're
So
not doing that
take
shit.
care, JHK. You too, Mrs. Hapster. You
Okay.
too, Mama H.
Yes.
You too, Mick.
Well, we'll
Mick
do.
Fisher,
We'll talk
Mitch
about it. We'll
Wong.
talk about the next.
Dick pics from Biggie. That's a good one. I think that's the topic.
Yeah, let's not talk about that no more. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Honeyco, Big E, and Jay. Mick Fisher, keep driving. See you later. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye. Honeyco. Bye bye. Good night.
I'll just sign off to Biggie, Honeycomb. Nice to talk to you. I
Take care,
enjoyed it.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming. Kayo.